You've got heavy temporal secretions, yeah, and back legs are wet. Okay, he'd be in Musth as well. Now, put that into context with the bull we saw earlier. We're quite far from there by now. We're probably a good 2 kilometers away, so 2 kilometers, sort of a mile and a half away. So it's not likely these two will probably bump into each other. But if they were to come across each other in the vicinity or at a herd with the elephant that might be in estrus, that would be interesting now, because then there'd be real competition between the two, because they're both in Musth. So then they would have to decide, well, who's bigger? And if need be, have a little sort of wrestling. Sorry guys, this is a radio beeping. Let's see if I can sort that out.
Yeah, Joska, we don't tell you where this is going to going. I'm going to check what you're going. So we come back to get the road to go around.
Sorry guys, let's switch that one off. Having a good drink. Elephants can drink a lot of water when they're thirsty. 50 liters, 100 liters of water. It's about 15-20 gallons depending on how thirsty they are, and obviously the size of the elephant. It's starting to get warm nice and quick now. We had a crisp morning to start with, beautiful sunrise. If you missed the beginning of the drive today, it was a lovely morning. Not too busy, nice sort of lazy Friday, nice lazy Saturday morning. As you can hear, I still need to wake up as well. I think I need a leopard to appear in the road in front of us. That always wakes one up nicely. But a couple of ellies, a bit of general game, leopard track here and there, but otherwise just a beautiful winter morning. The fact that we've seen 2 Musth bull elephants in the last half an hour or so gives me some hope that there might be some big breeding herds around as well. Obviously we saw that breeding herd of elephant yesterday afternoon. They should still be in the area somewhere. I like the breeding herd of elephant because of the young ones can be very entertaining, and also the dynamics within the herd. It's very interesting to see how they communicate. Bull elephants are great. These guys we've seen both times now this morning are solitary because they are in Musth, but quite often the bulls you will find in small bachelor groups, 3, 4, 5 elephant bulls together. See, this guy has been in fights before. It looks like that right tusk was, yeah, I can't even see a stump from it, so definitely, almost certainly from a fight at some stage that tusk would have been broken. It's fairly usual to see elephants, especially elephant bulls, or mainly elephant bulls, with broken tusks from fights. Sometimes just the tip of the tusk or a piece of the tusk. Sometimes the whole tusk down to the root broke out. Almost no wind this morning. I mean, there's the faintest of breeze. You can see just looking at the water, that area, it's flat there. I guess It's a bit of a coincidence that we've seen two musth bulls. Just to tell you again, if you've maybe just joined us, we saw an elephant about a short while back. Bigger than this. Oh, there's another ellie coming in the distance. Just see it's through the trees. Might have a couple of bulls around the waterhole just now. That could be nice, a bit of interaction. There you can see, just sort of up into the trees. And coincidentally, we saw two bulls this morning that are in musth. Musth is just a condition and a short sort of summary for you, where their testosterone levels go up and their hierarchy or their standing, their social ranking within the bull society goes up, and they become the preferred mating partners for females that might be in estrus or in the right state to reproduce. They normally go into musth once a year. I mean, there's been lots of interesting studies done on it. Pilanesberg National Park, when I started guiding there in the late 90s, in the previous millennium, it sounds very long ago, there were some very interesting studies done on bull behavior with introductions and musth behavior. But in general, elephants go into musth once a year, and depending on the size of the elephant and the condition of the elephant and the dominance of the elephant, that musth can last anything from a few days or weeks up to a few months, 4, 5, 6 months, sort of under perfect conditions for a big male in his absolute prime. Let's just see, there might be a bit of interaction there, keeping in mind the bull sort of with his backside to us at the moment with the ears half open. He is in musth. Other one coming down there looks a bit younger. He's not in musth. Definitely younger as well. Open ear postures. It might be a greeting there. It's not going to be... these guys don't fight sort of out of, just the next thing to do. It's something they try and avoid. And this would be very, very clear. That younger one, not only is it younger and is he smaller, but he's also not in musth. So there's no dominance issues here. It's very clear to, for them who's the dominant guy. But I'm expecting that youngster to maybe come closer at some stage, do a bit of a greeting. They've probably traveled together already. Just the way that he approached there, it seemed a little bit as if they, haven't been in close proximity for the last couple of hours. That's a great question, Joanne, and it's something that that I've wondered about often as well, because when you see these big bulls, especially the bulls when they're in full musth, that continuous dribbling, it's a lot of liquid that goes out. So Joanne, you're just wondering if an elephant would need more water if it's in full musth. I can't say that I've specifically ever read that somewhere. But I would think so, just logically speaking, it would make sense. They can lose a lot of liquid during the day. We've got a few guests from New Jersey this morning. Hello, Rita. You were just asking about that tusk we spoke about earlier, the right-hand side tusk of the other bull that's obviously broken out somewhere along the line in a fight. I think he's not giving us his tusk view at the moment. But you were just wondering if that tusk will grow back. Rita, it won't grow back if it's broken out. If it's broken out at the root, then that's, it's like losing a tooth and that's gone. But quite often the tusk just breaks off a piece of it, like the tip or a part of the tusk itself, and then the tusk will keep on growing. Keep in mind, it is a tooth, and the ivory piece that we see, the extension of the tusk, is only a part of the tusk. A lot of it goes in under the sort of top lip. And I'm just thinking maybe we should go a bit closer. Let's go sit on that side. It'd be nice to get a few close-ups and we can talk about it again maybe, Rita. But in short, if the tusk is broken, it will keep on growing. But if it's broken out, it won't grow back. That explains it. Through a dip here. I'm just going to be quiet. It might break up a little bit, but it's very, very quick. Then we're through it. Shake. We expect it from a big guy in Musth. Let's see the posture as well. Head up, ears open, making himself look bigger. Quite a lot younger than the first bull we had in Musth earlier. That guy estimated sort of mid-late or mid to sort of early to mid-30s, 33, 35. This guy would probably go with late 20s, early 30s at the most, around 30. At least 3 or 4, if not more years younger than the other one. Wonder what he's listening to. He's listening to something at the moment. There you can see the lips nicely, Rita. This one you can actually see the whole side of that tooth cavity, if you want, is collapsed. So that whole area there, if there was still a tooth root in there, there'd be a bit of a bulge. So that tooth won't grow back. Giving us a bit of a display there of his good balance. Guys, he's in full musth. Let's have a quick look. Spoke about how much liquid they can lose. It's got a constant dribbling. Now this is going on, you know, the whole time. That's quite a lot of liquid. He's busy. He's sort of having a look at us at the moment, really. I don't think he's doing anything specific. He's pretending to eat a bit of grass up there, but partly I think he just wants to come see what we're up to. I wouldn't be surprised if he maybe gives us another little head shake just now, just to sort of see what we're about. Look how he's resting his head on his tusk. He's just wedged the tusk into the soil there, leaning against it. Strong animals. See if he gives us a little head shake again. Quite a bit of dust coming off now. He's busy breaking a part of that bank. There you can see with the tusk just getting some nice soft dust. Good question, Benjamin. Nice to have you on drive with us. Benjamin is just wondering if it's not a bit strange that he's by himself, or that they're alone, and we've got two bulls here. Another one joined this guy, but it's just the two of them. Benjamin, the big herds that we see when you see lots of babies and young ones and middle-sized ones, and sort of a whole mix of elephant, that's the breeding herds. There we go. A little bit of a what are we up to? Okay, dude. Oh, he's beautiful. He's right here. Look at that. Lovely setting as well. We've got the riverbed going in the back there, that area. Nice big knobthorn acacia, beautiful view. Keep in mind, guys, this guy is in full musth. So, oh, look at this on his trunk, Brian. Right there, there's a stick insect. Look at that. Catching a ride. There's a little something. But that's actually a stick insect. It looks like a piece of grass. And that's a little insect walking on his trunk. Look at the trunk over the tusk like that. A little bit of a dominance behavior. The way he's hanging in the trunk. Come to have a look at us. We didn't do anything funny. We didn't sort of move or try and give an idea that we want to push him or something. And it's important to look at their behavior. He didn't, we eased our way in here, we got closer a little bit, gave him a bit of time to get used to us, and he decided to come and ask us what we're up to. Even when he's in musth, as I said, don't do this at home kind of thing, folks. But even when he's in musth, you can still approach elephants, just see what they're about, ease your way in there, don't sort of barge your way in. There's more elephants in the back as well. Oh, but he's a spectacular elephant. You can see he's listening again, just with his ear. If you look at the angle of the ear, sort of up like that, that's probably more likely listening to the other elephants in the area rather than to us or some other noises. Great opportunity to see some of the details. There you can see the toenails. Elephants effectively walk sort of right on the tip of the toes, but most of the weight is carried on the heel part. What I mean with that is, you can see the big nails there, but most of that foot is a heavy sort of cushion of fat and muscle tissue, and the heel sits in the back of that pad. So it's a very padded, sort of pliable, soft foot, like a big sponge almost. He's breaking more. So, oh, look at this, breaking more dust. Oh, this is a awesome view. Hey, big guy. Head shake. This is rad. Hey, mister. Wow, we've had a whole breeding lot of elephants join us without even knowing it. Although we did have a big bull elephant in musth standing right in front of us, so we were paying attention that side. Fantastic. Sorry guys, I just love that. Right, now he's giving us a big head shake because I started the engine, and I'm not going to follow him, I'm going to give him his space. But guys, it's very important. How you behave around the elephant will play a massive role in how they behave towards you. So, oh wow, look at this. Red, this is amazing. They all appeared here without any of us noticing it. That's stunning. Look at that. And this would also explain his presence, I guess. He's following maybe one of those females in the herd. Well, I see there is one big bull with him, although he's not in musth. Oh, that's awesome. It's quite a big herd. Let's do a quick count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 15 or so elephant. I might have missed one small one in amongst the legs there. Let's get a little bit closer. closer to them. I don't know if we'll be able to sneak up on them the way they snuck up on us, but it was a surprise, eh? Turn your head around and there's like 15 elephants standing there. Stunning bulls though, that was quite an intimate experience we had with him, close up to us. He's going to ride along, he's just off on the left hand side here. There he is. Hey mister. Look at this. Oh. Awesome guys, they've had their drink. Seems they're going to be moving on again. We might stick with them depending on where they go. Hello Jody, you're just wondering if elephants ever thrown something at me? Yeah, they throw things at us sometimes, or sometimes at, you know, I've even seen them throw things at birds with other elephants, sometimes, you know, a tuft of grass or sand, water. Doesn't happen often, but I've experienced it over the years. You get to know certain elephants, and if you spend lots of time with them, they sometimes play with you a little bit as well. We're right down here, almost at water level now. Before we follow that herd further into the bush, I see there's still two young ones sort of trailing behind, and I see there's actually 3 hippos here, not 2 like we thought earlier. So, and there's a buffalo arriving behind the elephant. Seems we've arrived at the waterhole at the right time, perhaps. These two should be catching up just now. That looks like 2 young males. They'll start hanging around at the sort of periphery of the herd more and more. Both of them are at an age where they will start getting sort of subtle cues from the matriarch that it's time to move along. And it's not an immediate thing. They don't move out the next day kind of thing. It's a gradual process where they start following more behind the herd, sort of hanging around the edges of it, getting to know other bulls like the big guy behind us here in Musth. So it is a very gentle process. It's not sort of a traumatic getting pushed out of the herd. It's more a gentle change into the bull society, or a gradual change maybe. Oh, look at that guy. He's going into 4x4 mode up that bank. Actually amazing how they can climb. That's very steep. And this one's going to try and follow maybe. No, he's going to take the smoother route. Suddenly he's very alone. You see what happened there? He was quite comfortable when the older bull was with him. I would guess the one to be sort of, that one maybe 12, 13, something like that. The other one maybe 15, 16. Suddenly the younger one felt very exposed there by himself. Funny animals sometimes. Great. We are going to try and follow them again just now, but for now, that buffalo bull seems he's on his own. He came down for a drink. Got the hippos just in the front here as well. I can go back to you slightly. Likely that buffalo will spend a few hours here. He's getting a drink now because he's just arrived, but nice water, nice mud as well for him to be lying around in, so he's probably going to stick around here most of the day. Well, that was very sort of lucky timing for us, just arriving here as the Ellies arrived. Well, as one Ellie arrived, we almost missed him. We were just about to leave the waterhole, and then that elephant arrived. We stayed for him. Another elephant arrived. Great time with him. I really enjoyed that. Your senses go up a little bit when the elephant's that close. breeding herd, buffalo, lots of things happening. We're going to take a few more minutes here, just enjoy the view, listen to the sounds. And speaking of your sort of attention going up and the adrenaline a little bit with the elephant close by, that's something that always happens on foot. As soon as you're on foot, you are so much closer to everything around you, and that's a great experience. So enjoy being on foot with Stefan. We'll see you just now.